Lloyd Garmadon, arguably the main protagonist of Ninjago and many's favourite ninja. Lloyd may have the dream of many in Ninjago to be the legendary Green Ninja, but is his life as magical and as fun as seen from the outside? That's what we're covering in this video. Now, let's put on our Sensei Wu hats and talk about some Ninjago.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
Lloyd Montgomery Garmadon was born as an average-looking kid in Ninjago, but he was quite the opposite. His father, Lord Garmadon, was an evil warlord who wanted everything for himself. Lloyd's mother, Misako, was she a caring mother? No. Misako always wanted to know more about prophecies and fate, but at the exchange for her only son. All from a very young age, Garmadon left his family to conquer Ninjago in his own image, while his mother, Misako, sent him to Darkly's boarding school for bad boys for many years. Lloyd was bullied throughout his time at Darkly's, and his only reason to stay was the thought of one day being like his father. Lloyd is eventually kicked out of Darkly's for being too good and is set out on the streets without a home. Lloyd resorts to stealing food to survive. This is where he meets the ninja for the first time as they stop him from stealing from Jimonokai village. Lloyd would keep trying to steal but was caught every time and was usually given wedgies by the ninja or made fun of for being nothing like his father. Lloyd's ongoing depression and willingness to fulfill his dream causes him to unleash the ancient Serpentine tribes into Ninjago, where they would all go on to attack innocent civilians and unleash a great devourer. Throughout this journey, Lloyd allies with the ninja after the Serpentine all betray him. Garmadon returns and is happy to finally see his son again. Even in all of this chaos of the Serpentine, Lloyd still had no idea of the whereabouts of his mother Misako. It is here where it's discovered Lloyd is the legendary Green Ninja and will one day defeat his father in the final battle. Lloyd, after spending lots of time with the ninja, decides to commit the ultimate sacrifice. He gives up his childhood and instantly grows up for the greater good of Ninjago, which is a truly heroic thing to do. But this was not all good, as it would be really upsetting for Lloyd knowing his childhood was permanently gone. Still, Lloyd moves on. Later on, Lloyd and the ninja investigate a problem at a museum, where Lloyd, for the first time in years, sees his mother Misako. Lloyd is shocked by this, but knowing that Misako abandoned him at a very young age, Lloyd crashes out and leaves. Misako comes and explains to Lloyd that she loved him and it was to try to prevent the prophecy of Lloyd fighting his father. Lloyd eventually forgives her. To be honest, I don't know how you'd ever forgive your mother for basically leaving you with nothing just to go research a prophecy. Anyways, they then go on to carry out the rest of Season 2. After the final fight in Season 2, Garmadon's evil form is no longer as he takes on the title Sensei Garmadon. Through this, Lloyd is finally able to have a good relationship with his father, which would have meant so much to him. Times do get rough with the loss of Zane, which hurt all of the ninja, but the final straw for Lloyd was the end of Season 4, with Garmadon sacrificing himself for the safety of Ninjago. This left Lloyd heartbroken and the feeling of loneliness returned to him, but things only got worse from here. Lloyd goes to a museum to check out a prison break, where he gets possessed by Morro, a ghost from the Cursed Realm. This leaves Lloyd possessed for most of Season 5, where he watches Morro attack his friends and family in his body while he has nothing to do about it. It must be soul-crushing to see that and not be able to do anything but sit and watch. Lloyd eventually gets free and Morro is defeated. This part of Lloyd's life was very depressing during the events of Season 7. Wu was hit with the time punch and was aging to his unfortunate death. Balancing this worry about his uncle while now becoming the new leader of the team would have been extremely stressful. Not to mention, the team were all giving him a hard time about his efforts. Eventually, at the end of Season 7, Wu is lost in time. This leaves Lloyd and the ninja angry and sad, leading them to split up for a while. What's coming next is definitely the lowest point of Lloyd's life to this day. This is definitely the most dark point of Lloyd's entire life here. Following the disappearance of Master Wu in Season 7, Lloyd and the ninja are doing a job for the royals. Their task is to watch for any danger while the king gives a speech to Ninjago. Through this, Lloyd meets Harumi, the Jade Princess. Lloyd shows a liking to Harumi, and they go out to feed the homeless in an act of kindness. Soon later, the palace is blown up by the biker group, the Sons of Garmadon. They're after an Oni mask, and once all three are obtained, the evil Lord Garmadon can be resurrected from the dead. This information is shocking to Lloyd, knowing that the short but strong bond he had with his father. The ninja all go out to stop the Sons of Garmadon, leaving Lloyd and Harumi alone. But in the most tense of moments, Harumi reveals herself to be the leader of the Sons of Garmadon. This is the start of a spiraling downfall for Lloyd, as after this, the Sons of Garmadon are successful in their quest as Garmadon returns. Lloyd goes to fight the soulless Garmadon, but gets absolutely annihilated, and all of his powers are taken, and the words "I have no son" repeat in his mind over and over. That's still not all, as back in Ninjago, the powerless Lloyd watched on as Garmadon's Oni Titan looks to have crushed his friends and Destiny's bounty to death. This is an all-time low for Lloyd's mental health, but luckily, it gets better very soon. Lloyd, having lost his elemental powers, is training in an abandoned factory with elemental masters Nia and Dareth. Yes, Dareth. Lloyd and the Resistance climb Borg Tower and give the Ninjagan civilians hope as they prepare to fight Garmadon. Lloyd in his battle with his father uses the art of the Silent Fist, something his dad once taught him. Once Garmadon's defeated, Lloyd sees his friends once again and brings his morale up for the first time in a while. Based off the title of this chapter, it's obvious you probably know what I'm on about here. Once Nia merges with the sea, Lloyd and the rest of the ninja are heartbroken. This event causes the ninja to break up for an entire year and get day jobs. Lloyd in Crystallized is reunited with his father, who is learning the human way of life and finding a way to control his anger. Lloyd, still feeling betrayed from his father's actions throughout the Oni trilogy, makes him lack trust of Garmadon, which leads to a toxic and upsetting relationship to have to watch. But through this eventual trust in Garmadon is what helps him defeat the Overlord, partly fixing their relationship and increasing Lloyd's morale to an all-time leading high. Next up is my last and one of my most depressing points in this whole video. Lloyd in the modern day is wiser, but no more happy than all those years before. Throughout Dragon's Rising, Lloyd has lost Wu, making him the new master of the new ninja as long as the old ninja. The pressure of living up to Wu's expectations must be really stressful for Lloyd, but there is worse. The recent fight against himself in Dragon's Rising Season 4 was the last string for Lloyd, which led to his death in Dragon's Rising. Obviously, Lloyd is revived by the Source Dragons, but if not, then his tragic and depressing life would have came to an end there. Now, this was a fairly dark video and not the type of video I always plan to make, but I did think this would be a fairly interesting topic to speak about. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It will help me make more content like this for Ninjago. Don't forget to go subscribe to the rest of the Ninjago community on YouTube. Thank you so much. See you later.